I'm out here searching for guinea eggs, and some of these chicks started following me around. They know who feeds them. These guys got out of my little holding pen and they're just chasing me around, waiting for me to drop some feed. But this is what I do on the regular, not every day, but every now and then. I just go looking around. I already searched all up and down this whole tree line. Guinea are generally going to lay in the tree line in flat spots like this, usually with some kind of cover. But you know, it's hard to find because they're very tricky or sneaky. They don't like, and they move their eggs so much. I think I'm going to feed them, but I feed them in the mornings, not in the evenings. I've never seen my guinea back here, but I'll check anyways. It's nice too to walk around, inspect your property, you know, all that good stuff. See what's going on. There's a bunch of trash back there, just stuff that was, looks like they tried to fill in this this ditch with tires and garbage. Anyways, you see them all. They're waiting. They want food, but they get enough food in the morning to last. Got to move these guys up again. They're starting to wear out their welcome here. Probably tomorrow morning or tomorrow evening. All that fresh grass right over there. Anyways, I'm going to continue looking. I got some other farm chores to do today. And I've been walking around. Cool thing is I discovered there's a ton of wild raspberries. Just a ton of them. And my daughter loves wild raspberries. I'm not going to tell her about these until they ripen up. But this is nothing. This is just a little bit. Like, they're everywhere on this tree line. And I was hacking them down before I realized what they were. So I'm going to definitely leave them. I don't want to cultivate them or anything like that. I just want to eat them. If I'm going to cultivate raspberries, I'm going to get the thornless kind, so don't get pricked every time I touch one. But they're just, like I said, they're scattered everywhere in here. There's some that are already starting to ripen up a little bit, not quite. I'm going to show you a spot where they used to lay. Guinea, they really like to lay in, they like a little bit of cover. They don't really lay in the woods, but like in these bushes, this bushy type stuff is what they'll lay in. That's why we leave a little bit of bush around these wood piles. That's because we want to encourage them to lay somewhere easy for us to get. Problem is once you start moving them, their eggs, grabbing them, you know, they don't like that. So what they do is they end up moving them themselves. Now sometimes a predator will come in here and get them too. Then they'll move them, and they're just constantly moving them all the time. So just gotta keep on looking. And the worst part is when I find them, I can't even use them. I don't know how old they are. So what I have to do is mark them and then go back the next day and see if they're still laying there. If they're not, then you know they already moved their pile. If they are, then I just take the fresh ones and I leave the marked ones until eventually a raccoon or a possum come by and find them and eat them all. And then once they realize I'm taking the eggs, if they see me near their nest, they'll move that too, and so on, so on, so on. It's a never-ending game, really. But we sell guinea eggs, and we like, you know, we like to be able to buy feed for all our animals. So it's part of the hustle, I guess. Anyways, I'm gonna go look some other places, and maybe I'll record that. You can see the guinea. I mean, they're everywhere. They like to hang out in pairs. So there's 5 over there. So there must be another one hiding somewhere. There's 2 over there. They hang out in like mated pairs type situation. They do that on like a free range scenario. If they're in a pen, they don't really do that. But in a scenario like this where they can kind of wander, they hang out in pairs, male, female. It's kind of nice. And we got roughly 20 of each. Anyways, I'm gonna go check some other places. All right, we're back at it. We're checking a few spots out. I got this old, I don't know, dog kennel or something. A bunch of chain link fence and some gates on my property. It seems like a pretty good place for a guinea to lay. There's nothing in there though. Clearing spot. I got a trap in here for raccoons and stuff, and haven't set it in a while, but that's where they're at. You can see all the activity where animals have been running through here, so it's a good sign. I mean, it could just be rabbits or a predator or something like that, but when you're looking for guinea eggs, you're just looking for, well, a place where a guinea congregate. Generally, they all like to lay in the same nest, but sometimes they'll lay in different spots, and that's the challenging part of it as well. They like a higher grass. They really like wood piles and things around wood piles, something with a roof almost over their eggs. So I really like to look around things like this, higher grass areas. There's nothing over here. Got a bunch of chickens over here too. So a plus side is that the last time my guineas laid eggs was about 4 days ago. I had pulled 9 or 12 or something like that out of there, and then all of a sudden they just stopped. But the very last day there was some chicken eggs in there, so that leads me to believe that maybe wherever these chickens are hanging out, because these chickens generally hang out with a guinea, and you can see there's one rooster, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 hens. So that's their little clique. That's what they do. This is our old pig pen. We're done with pigs for the year. I'm gonna walk in here and check around just to see. But there was a couple eggs in with the guinea chicken eggs. So I'm hoping that wherever these guys are hanging out, maybe they'll lead me to some guinea eggs. And things like this, like where there's a roof, the roof being the trees and everything else being the high grass, there's nothing in here though, unfortunately. This is where we like to break our pigs. So we put like electric on the inside, and they have this, I don't know, it's 32 by 16. Good place to train them. And then we move them over here, and that's why it's kind of moonscaped. It's hard to tell with all the greenery, but at one point it was, pretty destroyed down by pigs. All right, back to the task at hand. We're looking for these eggs. I don't anticipate finding them, but if I do, I do. Anyways, our last eggs were laid 4 days ago. I delisted my eggs. We sell it on eBay. I'll put a link in the description if you want to buy some of our eggs. We may or may not have guinea eggs available because of reasons like this. Now, you can train your guineas to lay inside, but it's a giant hassle of locking them up for a very long time. We're not doing that. We don't have guinea for the sole purpose of laying eggs. We have guinea to clean up ticks and all kinds of bugs in our yard. And every morning there are tons and tons of guinea. I got 40 of them roaming around my yard, front, back, pasture, all that stuff. And their sole purpose is to look for and kill bugs. By kill, I mean eat. So they're gonna be doing that kind of stuff. But as a secondary, we sell their eggs. We make enough money to pay for their feed, and that's important, right? Because having this many chickens and guinea, it costs money. Feed bill's quite expensive, especially nowadays with everything going up with gas. But just gonna keep looking. Eventually I'll find them, and then they'll move them again, and then I'll keep looking. And I'll also go back and check their previous laying spots, because sometimes they go back. It's not like lightning. It doesn't just strike once in the same spot. So let's check over here. I hear some guinea up here in this, my last pig pen up here in this little area. I did see a bunch down here a few days ago, like 20 of them or so, just kind of hanging around here. Now, me and my wife did go and check this yesterday, but you can never check too much, right? And you can always miss it, because they lay in some weird spots. Now, I'm not going to go back there in the woods. They don't generally go back there. They like to be in somewhat cover, but not in the woods. I've never seen my guinea hanging out in the woods. I see him cross the road more than anything. So that's another thing. They could be crossing the road to my neighbor's property and laying there, which would be terrible, because I don't want to cross the road every day to look for eggs. We're going to walk up here, and hey, look, more raspberries. Just gonna keep looking. And generally, the guinea are going to lay, guinea fowl, they're going to lay in the mornings. When we would go out to check, sometimes we go out at like noon, we would have the appropriate amount of eggs in there. So in the beginning, when they lay, they'll lay in the coop because they don't know anywhere else. They'll usually pick a corner of your coop, and they'll lay there. But after a while, they realize, yeah, you know what? There's better spots to lay, because they just like to go outside more than anything. Our guinea are trained to come in at night. We haven't had an issue with that. Now, we have lost a guinea here and there, neighbors' dogs, or actually one got ran over maybe a few weeks ago, which is unfortunate. It's an old barn or old cabin. My pigs use it as a sleep house. When I had them up here, they just used for shelter, and they slept in there, and it's kind of nice. But we can walk this, and I'll show you their last laying spot, their last known laying spot. And I set a trap up here because I ended up having I'd marked a bunch of eggs, and then something came in there and swiped them all. Probably a raccoon, generally, maybe a possum. Not much else around here. Armadillos and skunks, but you don't see them as much. I catch possums and raccoons the most. There's 4 of them right there. There's another 2 right there. Like I said, they're in pairs, even numbers. They like to make that noise too when they see people or animals or anything. So this was their last laying spot, was right here. Pretty good laying spot. I'm up here checking. I did lay these down not too long ago right here. There's nothing in there though. Yeah, there's no eggs in here, unfortunately. They used to lay in that bush. Checked in there yesterday, nothing. They've been crossing our road right here, so I guess we can kind of check real quick. But like I said, there's not going to be, it's going to be a fat chance. The only problem is that like they lay like 16 to 20 eggs a day. So in 4 days, there's going to be 80 eggs laying somewhere, or something. They're laying in different spots and something swiping them, something like that. Every now and then I'll find one single egg laying somewhere. I'm gonna be quiet because my neighbor's dog's up here and I don't want them to start barking at me. I don't see anywhere they'd be laying. Nice thick things like this though. You can see like trails where they've been running through here. Like I said, it could be rabbits, but more than likely it's just these guinea running back and forth. And they don't defend their nest or anything like that. If they see you, they're gonna take off. They're not like, well, chickens. I mean, they do go broody, but I've only seen it a couple times. There's nothing in there. I gotta mend this fence. It's down. We don't have any big animals, so we don't really care too much. Like something like this is perfect for them to lay in. They really like spots like back in there. And that they were laying right over here, somewhere around here. Just right out in the open, like right there is where they were laying at one point. But again, they just keep moving them over and over and over. There's a bunch of cottontail that live around here too, so they're probably going in and out of here as well. Really like guinea. They're cool looking. They're bigger than a chicken. They really don't like to be handled. Like a chicken you can become friends with, a guinea, fat chance. These things really do not like people. They don't mind other animals, but they don't like people. You know, the only cool thing is that what they do like is when I'm mowing, especially out here. I mow this every now and then, is they'll follow me around. I'll get a whole pack of 20 or 30 of them just chasing around the mower, because what happens when you mow? A bunch of bugs jump around. So they really like that. We're gonna have to mow this in another couple weeks probably. It's about, I don't know, 6 inches, maybe a foot tall. We don't have goats. We have goats, but they're just more pets than anything. We don't have a flock or a herd of goats or a couple cows or anything that really eats grass down. Like chickens will eat them, but they're not gonna come out here and mow your lawn. I guess geese will do it. But again, you know, that's a whole operation there. Goats would definitely do it if you force them to. Cows is the way to go. We don't have cows. We don't want cows. We raise pigs. We trade pork for beef pretty fairly. And then, you know, we make enough money to just buy our own beef. And we buy from farms. We don't buy from the store. We haven't bought meat from the store in a long time. Just like hot dogs and bologna and stuff like that for the kids. Pepperoni, things that, you know, it's harder to find. But as far as hamburger and steaks, ribeyes, that's the only real steak. We buy those from the butcher, or I got a couple farm friends that raise cattle, and we just go buy it from them. And they sell, you know, direct, or you can always purchase a half a cow, half a beef, full beef, something like that. That's always good if you can do that. You usually find better deals, and you're going to get much better quality as long as you see how the farmer raises it. Generally, they raise grass fed, and then they grain feed the last 30 to 60 days. That's what gets all that marbling in there. You don't want, around here, you don't want grass fed only. It's not really, it's a whole science behind it, you know, with the types of grass you need to get that flavoring. All right, we're gonna check this last wood pile, and then I'm calling it quits. Unfortunately, not every day is a success. And, you know, I don't mind doing it, because I'm out here, I'm checking my property. I'm seeing what's going on. I'm making sure there's no dead animals. You know, we have hawks and vultures and owls and fox and pretty much any kind of predator you can imagine we have here. So we don't, you know, we can't protect everything every time, but at least we can go and inspect our farm and make sure nothing's weird, nothing's dead. And if we see a problem, we can fix it. So that's why I don't mind coming out here. Yeah, unfortunately, we didn't find any eggs. And one of these days we'll find them, and they'll be like in my garage or something ridiculous like that. Like they lay in some pretty obvious spots, but it's you know, it's not obvious because you're not looking there. All right, well, hey, if you guys like watching these kind of videos, even the failure videos of me trying to find eggs and I'm not finding them, hit that like button. Share with your friends. If you like guineas and chickens and stuff like that, I mean, we love them. They're beautiful birds, and they serve a purpose. It's hot out today. You can see them, their wings open like that. That means they're trying to vent some heat. And I think it's 95 out today. But they're great to have around, and they're just fun. Well, thanks for watching.